What's up, everybody? I'm Naomi.
My name is Aaron.
This is Heard It Now, and today we have XXXTENTACION Ice Hotel EP. This has been recommended a lot, just like most of his other work, so we are going to check it out today for you.
We're just going to jump right into it. The first track is Ice Hotel featuring SZA.
You think you know me? Under my heels, I hear it cracking.
Some kind of voice manipulation.
She lost like fucking 100 pounds or something.
Yeah, I don't think she's a heavyset woman. Okay. No, I mean, they're either manipulating SZA's voice or it's not the same SZA that we all know. I don't know. Or it could possibly be a sample, like, again, with the voice manipulation. I don't know. Let's get right back into it.
When I'm talking, creeping up my shoulder.
I could just get down to this. The stuttering they're adding by clipping the ending of her words. I actually kind of dig that. It goes with the beat really nice.
I stays in my gold place without a soul and pure hate, insecure, couldn't love another at the same time. Ice cold, see my lover through the grapevine. Mystery, hate her, fuck him. What's meant to me was a pure green, but this I can't melt. Ice Hotel.
Sample, sick. This little breakdown is fucking dope.
Really different compared to like most of the work that I've heard of his. The way they manipulated, I guess, like the whole first half of the song, it was really different. I didn't think it was SZA until they came on together.
Right.
I was like, oh, okay, that's her voice. And it kind of sounded like you were like they were being covered by something and they were trying to sing through this, like, being covered. It's kind of what it felt like to me.
Legislate for ASAP for virtue, swerving, convergent, rapes, lurking, curtain, confidence, moving,
I actually enjoyed that song. It had so many different elements to it. It felt like I was listening to like 3 different songs or something. But it all came full circle, like when they would like bring her voice in and out from like that muffled sounding, like if they were weighted down while they were singing. I enjoyed it.
That track was pretty cool. Just like you're saying, it felt like maybe 3 different songs because the first part was that deeper tone voice that kind of felt like a lo-fi, experimental, kind of like just something you'd play, like you look up lo-fi beats on YouTube or something, like to concentrate to. That's kind of what I would imagine. But then when they kind of brought back a regular voice and used it more like a sample and X went over it, pretty effective. It was actually made for a really cool beat. Lyrically, it was pretty flowing, like the words stuck to each other. His ability to write was really good. Like the words just, like I say, they just kind of stick and flow with each other. At the end there, it sounded like lo-fi dance music. Maybe like techno influences or something. It was strange, but it worked. Alright, the next track, I don't really know how to pronounce it, so I'm just gonna say it's called Inuyasha.
It works.
Push
and play.
Kill a fuck nigga for the free. 100 motherfuckers in the dust for the meat. Masadi, Islamic, can't know me. My niggas, they grab me, push listen, yo, cheese. Yeah, I'm not a fucker that'll claim that you bang. Couldn't be about it, so I hang by his chain.
Damn. He said he'll hang people by the chain. By their chain.
This motherfucker came off hard, man.
Beat change was sick. That was dope. I'm assuming it's coming from an anime, okay? Especially the way he was saying Inuyasha. You know, it sounded like either it was a clip from that show or maybe him doing some kind of voice similar to that show or something. But I mean, that beat change was awesome.
And not that I really watched this, but I watched like my cousins and my brother growing up like watch like Dragon Ball Z and all those shows, and like they do like the screaming.
Better get that shit out.
And drugs in this bitch, like a slide with the foe and the plug on the bitch. I'm popping out the cut 3D with the shit. Bitch, you laying in the with your bitch. What?
Bitch? Well, it looks like he's a little disoriented or something. It's always possible God could be on something.
I like that. More like his old, like what I'm used to hearing with the songs that I enjoy of his. style-wise, when he gets like kind of aggressive, when he screams.
There are some familiarities here, like in terms of lyrical content, but the beat choices so far, a little bit different than what we've heard. Lo-fi art pop take on hip hop. I know that sounds strange. The changes, the manipulations, the sudden interruptions for beats that sound completely different, but yet go very cohesively with the track. Well executed for the 2 tracks that we've heard so far.
Up next, Ocean, and it's a clip.
Guy could be on something.
It's carried over from the last track.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Is it getting off?
Bath salts.
Looks are deceptive and changing directive and will leave your heart in the days. Any motherfucker that could love a motherfucker could have loved another nigga at the first you see. Then they changing your mind in a time and a 9 could have made a big hurt you see. Baggy shit, baggy shit.
It's pretty sinister to have that screaming going on, and it all of a sudden goes into the deep voice talking about being a red ocean and shit.
The song by Eminem, Stan, has a section in there where he's like screaming and the girl's screaming and he's like telling her to shut up, bitch, and all of that. But like that screaming sound that I heard in this song just took me back to when I first listened to that and like saw them performing it, and I was just like so traumatized by the fucking screaming of the girl in the trunk. Yeah, it just gave me those vibes. I really liked that, and I wish it would have been a full, complete song. I think it would have been so cool. I enjoyed the way he was coming off, and there's like a line where he's like, any motherfucker that could love a motherfucker. The way he like went into that flowing was pretty cool to me. It's probably one of my favorites so far.
The song was pretty good, especially for kind of like an interlude or clip or whatever. Like you're saying, there's a cool highlight there where he started flowing really fast and started like picking up speed. And, you know, a lot of changes in his flow. Kept it interesting.
Up next, Bloodstains featuring Ski Mask and Drugs.
I'm pretty sure the sampling, when you start the PlayStation, the first one, when the logo would come up, I could be wrong, but it sounds like that fucking sound.
The and it like lights up in the center.
Boy, you better act like Shaq and try to dunk in my face, cause you know you don't know how to shoot. You aim at the roof, claiming you ready to shoot.
Talking about Shaq, you better dunk on me because you don't know how to shoot. I thought that was pretty cool.
Black bitch hairline couldn't be. Act like your hairline and start to recede. Back that ass up. Only smoking backwards, calling Mother Nature. Tell your fucking mother, touch my babester. Watching me fuck up the touching your watching me stuff for the
It's a pretty cool lyric. Bloodstains on my marble floor. It's just very visual. I can actually imagine it, especially with this dark ass beat and this weird overtone that's going on in this track.
I had to think of like Scarface or something.
Scarface.
all my niggas is around me. Said I'm feeling the her pussy and it's slime me. Niggas love to watch me. What the fuck you saying, boy? I ain't playing, boy. I would take your mother's son. I would take your bitch from your hand, then treat her like a newborn.
Treat her like a newborn. What the hell does that even mean?
Like a baby? I don't know. Like his baby? I don't know. I don't know.
Sidekick of my sidekick. Rockefeller, then Rockefeller. Hentai of my history. What happened to a bitch mystery? Tassels on the nipples. Beat that pussy like a riptide. I'm so high. Tripping, make him drool. Got the tabs. You a fag. Fuck, nigga, get a jab to your nose.
Another favorite. I enjoyed the way that Ski was flowing, the way that Drugs, he's going by in this EP, the way he was going, and also X's part. His different vocal tonalities. It was a good listen.
It was a little slow for me. The beat stayed consistent throughout, and like the other two kind of had instances of switch ups and things like that, and this track just kind of rode out, and it was very slow paced. So it was more like a vibe. Like if you really want to get into some like dark, mysterious, atmospheric type rap, I would say this was pretty good. And some of the lyrics were clever or visual, but overall, you know, I just kind of thought it was a little slow for me. The next track is Very Rare Boys, and it has XXXTentacion, Ski Mask, The Slump God, and Drugs.
Hey, set him in the back with the Mac in the backpack. Try me and I switch to attack. That nigga started at your back. Gun sound like that nigga who couldn't reach in the class. That mean I get tall like that shit off the low. She walking top of the low. Ho in the foe, skin all on your hoe. I'm on your hoe. Slunk God in the club with my dick in your hoe.
He's talking about fucking all kinds of hoes, fucking about your hoe, his hoe, their hoe. Everyone's fucking hoe is getting fucked.
Lyrically, it's a little different than the way that we heard Ski Mask on Stokely, which is our first introduction to Ski Mask, and even some of the singles that we've heard, or some of the features. Comical, takes himself serious, you know, he's not too jokey, but yet throws out, you know, funny references, talks about his purple pickle and all this other stuff. Here was just like straight hard, like, yo, I got a Mac in the backpack, talking crazy shit, like he's fucking everybody's hoe. More aggressive than we're used to from Ski. But I mean, maybe this was the kind of stuff he was talking about back then.
Murder, pastor was murder, my bullet green, I'm soaking the fervor. Fucking the bitch, I'm blood to the face. Mine just doing the race, I'm fucking and doing the chase. Often I'm doing no passion, Stokely was doing my ass like God.
That was a pretty interesting delivery from XXXTentacion on that verse. It reminded me of like when Kendrick Lamar goes weird, or when Lil Wayne decides to go weird, where they kind of like fluctuate their voice and they get really loose with it, you know?
Yeah, like they kind of do like a high pitched voice, but it's like coming off hard.
Like they're out of control or something, you know? Like their fluctuations in their vocal tones and the looseness of it is there to suggest that their mind is a little loose, you know? Like they're not so focused. Here he's talking about basically he's on coke, thinking this cocaine was all in my brain.
All my niggas sling crack. Y'all niggas steal my swag like a motherfucking hat. Nigga, my gon' go clack. Say bitch, wanna suck my sack. Nigga, you a fuck boy, that's a motherfucking fact. I do them shit, I'm off the shits, I'm with the shit, sitting shit off the top of my head.
There's anything I know about Drugs from these past couple songs, he's with the shits. He is with the shits. He's all up in shits right now.
Oh my god.
Sucking on my fucking semen, bitch. Your bitch is semen demon, hoe.
Semen demon. Oh shit, yo bitch, a semen demon. Oh shit, I've never heard that one before. Oh my
God. XXX was just pointing out the lyric that Drugs just rolled off, but she was just having a good time with.
It's fucking succubus? I don't know.
Oh, that's a good call, succubus. That was an interesting track. It was very aggressive, very violent. 3 artists on that track, and they all, you know, have their own delivery. They all have their own style. The cadence, I mean, XXXTentacion, he's different every track almost. Like he's thinking of ways now to express himself just lyrically, but also in his cadence and his, you know, overall delivery. Ski, like I said, never heard him that violent before. And Drugs, you know, he's pretty consistent lyrically. He's with the shits, and he's gonna kill you, and he's gonna fuck your hoe.
I think they're all gonna fuck your hoe, man.
Everybody's fucking each other's hoes.
I mean, if they're hoes, then I guess, right? But not your girl. Up next, Sounds of the Melting Pot.
Need a chain hanging out, choke. Pride to it, need a bass banging out, joke. My coat women, them stab wounds, no joke. My pack women, them feel niggas, no joke. Let's follow the leader, you spreading your niggas, just break. What's up with your niggas? They eyeing me looking like they want to get on something.
What's up with that? Acid. I think they were really on cocaine, because this is the second time they mentioned that shit.
The chorus was pretty dope in terms of the rhyme scheme. Like it rhymed hanging, banging, and coke, choke, and joke. I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't exactly understand it, what the hell he's saying. When it came to the verse, here he's like, I want to stick your chain. You know, he's on the attack, man. He was on the attack for sure. A lot of women screaming in this whole EP.
Yes.
A lot of women are screaming here.
Boss twist in her throat. Need a lioness, nose covered in coke. Nose covered in
I enjoyed that. You could hear XXXTentacion clearly. There was no like voice manipulation. It was still a little bit more slowed down. But the woman screams, what the fuck is up with that? Like, do people get off on that? I just want to know. Like, there is a lot of it. But other than that, you know, it was pretty good.
Knowing that they're really into horror movies, I'm assuming there's some kind of like atmospheric effect with the women screaming. And this track, you know, very slowed down, very haunting. Because it has that lo-fi quality, it feels very intimate. And like you're in a dark space with him. Like not necessarily even like a dark room, just like mentally in a dark space. Another interesting track for sure. I mean, this EP is full of interesting choices, provides a certain vibe for sure. The next track is Fuck V2.
I'm gonna say it again, fuck V2. What the fuck is V2?
I was gonna say that right.
Good question.
I was literally about to say, what the fuck is V2?
Skinny as fuck. You fucking bathed in Clorox. You ashy as fuck. Your legs fucking chapped. Nigga, kill yourself. Fuck.
Dick all in her throat. YOLO. Motherfucker bitch, take a photo. Yoko. Asian bitch, London ticket.
Yoko, and then he goes, Asian bitch. Are you talking about Yoko Ono?
This is by far the most like lo-fi sounding. Like this sounds like it was recorded on like those $10 microphones you bought in like the early 2000s or something. It's mixed pretty rough.
I'm a young Kelly Clarkson, fucking princess, fucking incest, recess, with a success in the vest strap, on the way, safety, a gay, and a V fucking true.
There's lava on his daddy, doesn't dig into the body.
Fuck a V2, tryna go like the buttons on R2D2, motherfucker who you, but I knew niggas ain't like the snakes do, but like a fat bitch, I'm tryna move where they cake move.
Like a fat bitch, I'm trying to move where the cake move.
Hey.
Step up in the pain, I'm Picasso on your face, though. Picasso in the pain, hold your bitch, suck me like a leech. I lost the speech, tell the bitch to breathe, back by a motherfucking G.
So I actually really enjoyed that, even though it was really lo-fi, and I kind of felt like the actual like music and the instruments were like louder than their voices were coming off in the song, but that was okay because I actually liked what they were giving us lyrically, even though I don't know what the fuck V2 is still. Another favorite off of this EP.
I'm getting the sense it's a diss track towards somebody. I don't know who V2 is, and they mentioned some other dude, Nayora's spouse? I don't know if any of these two dudes or if there's actually two people. It's a diss track towards somebody or group or something. The music was pretty cool. It was like a pretty simplistic kind of beat in the back, and they had simplistic drums. It was just a raw, straightforward track. Vocals, again, mixed really roughly in my opinion. I mean, even for a lo-fi track, it was very like home recorded sounding. Like if you recorded it like through Skype or something, it was interesting. All right, guys, this is final thoughts where we give our favorite tracks and we give this EP a rating. So what are your favorite tracks?
Favorite tracks are The Ocean Clip, Bloodstains, Very Rare, and Fuck V2.
My favorite tracks are Ice Hotel and Inuyasha. So if you had to give this EP a rating, what do you give it?
I'm gonna give this a 7.8 out of 10.
I want to give this EP a 6.5 out of 10. I've started bleeding in together lyrically, and the production overall wasn't as exciting as some of those first couple tracks. There were definite highlights here. I could see the potential, but you know, when you get to something like Revenge or Members Only and some of those tracks, I mean, they just feel a little bit more well developed. This felt like more of like an atmospheric type of EP that if you're in the right mood, this is amazing. Like honestly, I will say it definitely brought a vibe and brought a character to it. It just felt like they're talking about the same things a lot, which is like, yo, I'm gonna kill you or I'm gonna fuck bitches and stuff like that. And we've heard like a lot of variation on the other EPs and the other albums we've heard from XXXTentacion. And so maybe, you know, at this point we've gotten a little spoiled in that sense. You know, and going back, really far back to these early EPs, like you're still hearing the development, you know. And when you get to something like a Ghetto Christmas Carol, the Revenge, and the Members Only volumes, I feel like you're starting to hear growth. And when you're as prolific as he was, putting out all this material, you're going to have some hits and you're going to have some misses. And to me, you know, like the first couple tracks, I was actually really digging it.
It's funny you say that because I actually enjoyed like the last half of the EP more, just because to me it felt a little bit more slowed down, more rough and raw, a little bit more moody, a little violent with the screams, but you know.
Alright, that's going to be it for this reaction. And if you like these music reaction videos, please hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit that like button. It helps us out a lot.
Check us out on Instagram and Twitter at Heard It Now.
Let us know what your favorite tracks of this EP were, and let us know what we should react to next down in the comment section.
That's going to be it, everybody. Thanks.